Oh, look, so let me just go again, like very quickly. So this talk is about introduction to the vegetable section and USU Vegetable Production Lab, all right? And this is the outline of my presentation where I already talk about it. So here is where I was. So I am from this region in Brazil, which is pretty much dry. And then I moved to Israel and then Western Nebraska. Okay. So just a few pictures. This is my role at the USU as an extension vegetable specialist. Okay. So we were here. So when we talk about the needs for, vegetable programming in Utah, we have to take in consideration the Utah's growing conditions, okay? So arid and semi-arid climate. So we have less than, more or less like maximum 20 inches per year, which is very, very challenging, which gives us a very low, water availability. So in terms of, water availability in Utah, so 95% of the Utah's water supply is originated from the mountain snowpack. So we kind of rely on this condition, to grow our crops here, so, like row crops or vegetables. So we need water, right? So water is very, very important. And the other challenging conditions we face here is the short season. So we have a very, very short season. So late days and night temperature fluctuation, large actually. So we have a risk of late spring and early fall frost like we had last year, right? And then we cannot just forget about our soils conditions here, which, we have higher soil pH and we have problems with salinity due to the irrigation and also to the saline water elsewhere, right? So in 2021 and 22, we've got one of the worst, I would say, droughts here. So 89% of the state was under drought. So we need strategies. We need to, refine strategies that we could use in our program in terms of vegetable production that could work in those conditions. Okay, let's see if I can go. Okay, so when again we talk about the needs for this specific vegetable programming, I would like to highlight three main things. So I'm already assessing the needs for, to the growers through the state, and I saw three main topics that I would focus on my program. The first one is to try to, select the strategies or approaches that can improve soil structure, increase soil organic matter, and also enhance water and nutrient availability. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the one of the strategies that we are already currently using here, all right, on my program. So the second strategy that I would, focus on based on the needs of the growers here in the state is to improve crop resilience, trying to find, strategies to increase resistance to soil-borne diseases. We have lots of problems with fusarium, with nematode, with some other soil-borne. And we try to also get those strategies to work in a broad spectrum in terms of drought tolerance, salinity tolerance, and by the end of, the story, our main goal is to increase our crop performance, yield, and also quality of the products, right? The third main strategy that I have seen that I could, look into for a vegetable programming here based on the needs is to increase, is to select environmentally or adapted materials. So try to get the best out of the, breeding that we have, nowadays. So the latest varieties that could be used here. We have so many problems here. So we have to, try to get one strategy that could work in more than one scenarios. Okay. So my mission here at the USU Vegetable Production Lab is actually to advance sustainable vegetable production by integrating actually innovative research, extension, and outreach, trying to, basically optimize crop resilience, soil health, and the resource use efficiency through science based strategy. So my goal specifically is to provide growers with practical solutions that can enhance productivity, profitability, and environmental sustainability that not only Utah growers could use, but also other beginners, small farmers could use in the same challenging conditions. Okay, so I will just go over very quickly to the current and upcoming studies that I'm taking over. We have more, but due to the time, I will just, talk a little bit on those. So the first strategy that we have been carrying out since last year, and we are actually, so this will be the first year that we are going to evaluate it's the cover crop. So the main purpose here is to try to, continue to select and understand the impact of cover crops under these challenging scenarios to the subsequent cash crop or vegetable crop. So the main goal for the selection of a cover crops for a main strategy is to try to enhance soil health and sustainable, vegetable production. Since cover crops have, several benefits, including building the soil health, nutrient retention, erosion control, weed reduction, and so on and so forth. In my lab, we started the fall cover crops last year. So we are using currently winter wheat, winter peas, and kale as solitary crops. But also I am interested to look into the mixture, of those cover crops. So we have a mixture of winter wheat and peas. I'm using Austrian winter peas here. So winter wheat and kale. So I'm trying to, see the benefit of using a or both crops, but with different types of cover crops, right? And so I'm also comparing with no cover crops. And this project is actually kind of broad. So I'm, depending on the funding, I'm very, very interested to look into the metagenomics, trying to see the impact of soil microbiome interaction, and then see the benefits of having those in a short-term period, and then under the subsequent vegetable production. The second strategy that I have been trying to understand here, based on the needs, we have plenty of problems. So I think it would be very good to look into several different rootstocks. So vegetable grafting is it's not a new technique. It started in Japan in 1930s. It started to spread around in 1960s. And here in the US and Europe, it's been only 10 to 15 years that, the technique is being used. So the technique is basically vegetable grafting is basically select a high value, cultivar that you guys use usually, and select these cultivars based on their traits. So especially, high yield, high fruit yield, and quality, and get this scion or this top part into a stronger rootstock. So this process makes a plant becomes stronger due to a process called cross tolerance. So cross tolerance It's a series of, changes within the plant, physiological, biochemistry, molecular, that helps the plant to become stronger to the secondary stress. So the wounding makes the plant becomes kind of stronger. So we get the benefits out of the two worlds here. So we get the benefits out of, having a good variety selection in the top and a rootstock that is resilient to especially soil-borne pathogens, for example, Fusarium. So, but also we can get rootstocks or select rootstocks that could be drought and salinity tolerant. All right. So I came here last year, and then we decided to partner with Trihistil, which is a Israeli company, but they are also here. We evaluated some cultivars and 4 rootstocks. So today I will be sharing a little bit about Exclamation. It's one of the watermelons cultivars that are being used here, but the problem is for watermelon production in Utah is that we have several problems with Fusarium and the nematode. So I basically chose this strategy since it could track those, 2 problems, the Fusarium and also the nematode problem. So I'm using 4 rootstocks, so the squash interspecific rootstock, which is a Fusarium resistant. It's called Omer from the Trihistil company. Carolina Strongback, which is both Fusarium and nematode. And I'm using self-grafting just to see, just to have both controls, and then the non-grafting. So last year, what we could see running a trial under control and the drought is that there was a significant increase in several traits, especially in the total fresh weight. So we've got 174% increase in Exclamation grafted on Omer compared to non-grafted. And then under drought, we also got a similar pattern, 145% increase in their total fruit fresh weight when compared to the non-grafted plants. Those 2 other rootstocks, the Carolina rootstocks and also the self-grafting also showed benefits, which is very important, right? Especially the Carolina, the drought conditions, as you can see here, it actually increased the total fruit fresh weight under a challenge condition. So I really believe that we could try to, if we could try to select, resistant or tolerant rootstocks, we could help growers not only the bigger ones, but the small ones, including organic ones, to be more profitable here in Utah. There was no change on the soluble sugar. So there were in the literature there are some concerns that using a different rootstock like squash, it could change the quality of the fruit. But in our study, we did not see any difference between using a rootstock, a squash rootstock or Carolina, compared to the non-grafted plants. All the fruits were really good, no hollow heart or other problems for the season last year. Anyhow, so these are only some of the projects that I'm running so far. Again, due to the time, I am trying to just, give an overview about what we are, doing here. We are new, we are just establishing the lab, but I believe that together, having your guys' input, I could, try to get better strategies to serve the growers, not only here in Utah, but also in some other places where we have similar, challenging conditions. So future outlook of my, vegetable program would be to focus on the water management, try to increase water use efficiency, get, strategies that we could, increase the efficiency of, water here in these challenging conditions, but also trying to combine strategies. The second future goal would be to use protected cultivation like high tunnels, low tunnels, to extend, to keep going, keep, studying how can we extend the growing season here. I am very, very interested in the below ground. So most of, the studies, they look into the above ground, but the below ground, the roots, the hidden half, it's very, very important. So if we neglect that part, I think we are missing like half of the world in terms of knowledge. So the roots has lots of things to tell us. And I would like to explore more those strategies, looking at the below ground component. Opportunities, I also am open to work on the organic and high value, vegetable production. And again, I'm here to serve. So extension efforts, it will be my strong, goal for this program, to help farmers to, grow crops, vegetable crops under these challenging conditions. Two little things. So I would ask you guys to please answer the survey. So it's the vegetable production need. The link will be probably on the Q&A, which is actually easy, right? Katie is gonna help me with that. And then the second one is the poll questions, where you just, evaluate our presentations for the track. All right. I would like to mention also that so new people, new, things. We are starting actually a Northern Utah commercial vegetable grower meeting. We already had in Brigham City last week, exactly one week ago. But if you are interested, you can get the Zoom link in our vegetable program lab. So you can go to my website, to just use the website vegetablesprogram.com, and then access the meeting, okay? The full meeting, the full recording. And those are some pictures from last year. And I am very, very, happy to